One of the biggest things with conversion rate optimization and talking to people about site testing, we get the question is, well, how does that affect my bottom line? Well, that's what we're going to talk to you in this video. Now, conversion rate optimization can be very complex, so we've really simplified it for this video. If you want a more complex answer and how to understand and get your return of investment on your campaign, please talk to one of our team members at our agency. Now for this video, we're going to talk about two factors. We're going to talk about conversion rate and how it affects transactions and overall revenue, as well as ad efficiency. Now, one of the big things we talk about is how to convert more website traffic visitors into customers. Now, without increasing your ad budget. Now, when we look at this ad efficiency, we're not going to tell you if you're going to spend $2,000 in ads, we'd want you to maintain that growth. This is calculator is only saying, hey, if everything stayed the same, except your conversion rate, this is what you could expect. We know that in reality, there's going to be a lot of different things such as organic traffic, your regular traffic increasing, better return on ad spend. There's a lot of different factors. So remember, this calculation is only going to show you the impact in regards to revenue based if everything else remained the same except the conversion rate. So let's dig in. So in this spreadsheet, you can download the link in your the description. Is going to see here's the shared revenue. Now the only thing you need to put in is these blue tabs. You're going to need to put in your monthly traffic, and you can just use an average. Usually for seasonal companies, we recommend doing it 6 months to a year. If you know you have a really consistent stream of traffic, you can do the last quarter, but at least the last 3 months. Then you're going to put in the typical conversion rate using the same time period, and then you're going to want to look up your average order size or order value. If you don't know what this is at the top of your head, you can always take your revenue and divide it by the number of transactions, and that'll tell you the average order size. And then lastly, how much you're spending in ads each month. And then this one you can play with. The CRO lift is about what you'd get. Now let's explain lift. If you're going from, in this case, we're using a conversion rate of 0.36. If we had a lift, if we were to increase your current conversion rate by 40%, that means your new conversion would be 0.5%. Now, this is a typical lift on a very conservative side. For most of our clients, we have tests where we're giving up to a 529% lift. And then there are tests, of course, that do go lower and you could get a negative number. But the best part is you're not going to implement that test. And it's a good thing that you tested instead of just implementing there. That's going to save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars by testing it instead of just implementing it on your site. So we're going to just go with this site example. We have about 4,220 customers. The conversion rate is 0.36%. Now, an average Shopify store is about 3.6%, and that's still on the good side. Most people don't even get that high. Now, what you're going to want to look at, the average conversion rate also depends on your industry and what type of people you're getting to it. We would hope that most people are between a 1 to 2. Depending on your industry, like I said, we can get that up higher. For e-commerce, you can expect and see anywhere around a 5% is really good. If you can get it up to about an 8 or a 10%, you're in the top 20% of Shopify sites. And that's our goal, is to get you up that way. So you'll plug in the conversion rate, the average order size. So this is currently, when we look at everything, this is how much with that number of traffic and that conversion rate, the site would currently generate you $781, and you're spending, $4,000. You're actually losing money, and each lead is costing you $263. A quick analysis is if your average deal size is lower than what you're costing, you're running negative. And we see that with a lot of our new store owners. This isn't a very typical example, but you will see eventually that's one first sign that you need to change something if it is like this. Now let's see what we can do to change it. So we change this to 40%. Now the new numbers say that we are going to get now $1,000 in revenue instead of 781. The average deal size is going to stay the same, but it's interesting here because we are getting, or our site is going to be converting more, our ad budget is more effective, and our acquisition cost actually declines. So we're actually getting a savings of almost $170. And that's what this math does down here. So for this site example, if we were to increase this person's conversion rate just by 40%, we would be making them $3,912. And that's just with this one test, and that's 1 month. You have to remember your conversion rate, as long as your traffic is staying the same, is going to maintain for years to come if you're staying on top of it, and your return on investment is even bigger. A typical return on investment that we're seeing with our current clients ranges anywhere from 150% to 700. Now the average is probably around the 250% return on investment once they've paid us to do the tests, and that's a really great return on investment, especially when you consider that most investors are looking for a minimum of 10% return on investment. You're almost getting, to that 10x level, which is a great investment. Along with just the revenue findings, you're going to find that these tests are going to lead to better conclusions about your customers. And we haven't only looked at the conversion side and the ad efficiency. We haven't talked about, generating lifetime value and more transactions from a customer. We haven't talked about average size value as well, and among other factors. So please play with this template. If you want a more in-depth analysis, we'd be happy to help you. So if you are a business that does sales, we can actually tell you how many salespeople you need to convert your leads, as well as other factors on ways that we can increase your average order value. So please give us a call if you haven't already. We look forward to working with you.